has blown me away as I've been reading about it. Again, I think some of you have heard of the concept of emotional intelligence. It's a big idea out there. Emotional intelligence, I luckily, gratefully know somebody who's a professor at Kellogg School of Business who teaches emotional intelligence. You know him. And I mean, so there are courses now in the MBA programs about emotional intelligence. And I also was lucky enough to be at a 4-hour program where Dr. Richard Voyotsis, who wrote a book, hey, come on in.
Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Who wrote a book called Resonant Leadership, among other things. But he, in his 4-hour program, he was talking all about emotional intelligence. He's the main guru of emotional intelligence. And he was showing slides of our brain and what happens to our brain when we are calm and when we're not. I mean, literally, your brain shuts down when you're not calm. So do you think your best thoughts when you're wild and stressed? Probably. I mean, build a case for no, you don't. And so there's a science, again, exciting to me, and there's a science out there. This is a brand new idea. That's a consciousness out there that being calm, and we're going to come up with ways to do that, actually creates more predictable productivity and more creativity. So feeling hopeful, laughing, playing, being joyful, like playing is something we've all forgotten how to do. And I've started hula hooping a few years ago. Anyway, remember hula hooping? Okay.
It's the queen of my block.
Well, I'm really good at it again, and I work at home, and I'm by myself, and sometimes I'm losing my mind, and I just get that hula hoop out, and you can do it anywhere, and you cannot stop laughing. It's the most silly thing in the world. It's playful, and then I go back to my desk, and I'm actually got ideas. I know what I'm going to do. So when we're feeling hopeful, when we're laughing, when we're being playful, when we have joy, a lot of good things happen. So I didn't want to start here talking about what bad things happen when we don't have those. We will touch on that because I have to. But what happens when we actually do this? And why is it important to have renewal? So our physiology releases dopamine, for example, and dopamine turns on all the learning centers in your brain. Okay, so go play and turn on the learning centers in your brain. It also releases oxytocin, and oxytocin is, they call it the bonding hormone. It incorporates trust and compassion and helps facilitate groups better. It opens your heart to hear what people have to say. So these are being secreted into our body when we're happy and joyful and playful, and not when we're not. Vasopressin, which there's evidence that says that it creates a maternal, they call it maternal, I'm going to say anybody who's a father, same thing, or if you have a pet, but that when something happens to my kids, I'm going to use my kids, I'm calm. So that also gets released when we're happy and joyful and playful and all those things. Our blood pressure gets lowered, and we all know that. I mean, we know that it gets higher if you're stressed, so therefore it gets lower if you're not. And all of those things increase creativity, productivity, and energy. So I mean, the science is behind this. I was at a program yesterday. Her name is Jennifer Weigel. She's a Chicago Tribune writer. I don't know and she was talking about how she was talking a little bit about this, something sort of different, but that there's new consciousness all the time in the world. That who remembers flying on planes where there was smoking on planes? You know, like, oh my God! And now there's nobody it would be ridiculous to think of it. So this is a new consciousness of conscious capitalism and the science behind slowing down to be more productive. I love it. It's great. It also we secrete hormones that protect us from toxins, so natural immunities. So again, when we're happy, playful, all these things, this is what happens to our bodies. Physiologically, it happens.